Hello there, this is Chris Park from Arking Games. I'm the lead developer of The Last Federation, and I'm here to show you some new stuff that we've done in the last couple of weeks. This time I'm not narrating in real time as I try and play because frankly it requires too much concentration. So I'm doing a voiceover after the fact. At the moment what I was doing is just kind of looking around the strategic situation here, or tactical situation here. This is the new, turn-based system that we showed off last time, although it is supercharged now. It's way cooler. So I'm checking out all my abilities there. I used one of them. That one restored my shields, because those were getting pretty low. Every time that you use an ability now, that takes a turn, so normally the enemies were getting free hits on you before. Now it lets off that kind of explosion there, which blocks all the enemy shots within that range. So you can actually use an ability that you could kind of have this choice. There's an ability that maybe you want to use later, or maybe it's not really all that inherently useful to you, but you've got all these incoming shots and you want to clear those. So you trigger an ability to get out of the shots, because the shots that are coming can be pretty dangerous. You'll notice that during movement mode, during the movement phase of each turn, all the enemy shots, only enemy shots, show these little tracer lines behind themselves showing both how fast they're moving and how far they moved, and so you can then position yourself based on that. And this is kind of the changing battlefield as you go around. This is what provides a lot of the tactics, because your ship can only move so fast and turn so well, and in this case I just adjusted up, I diverted power from the weapons to the engines so I could maneuver a little bit better actually, and now I'm putting it back and then making sure that it's balanced. I didn't want to take stuff from the shields. And so with this you wind up with a situation where the faster you're going, the less your turning ability is, and then you also have to think about stopping distance. The thing has mass now, so you've got this predictive line there, and then you're trying to avoid all of the enemy shots as much as you can, and that sets up a situation where you actually have basically terrain in space. This is something I am super excited about. I have been trying literally my whole game development career since 2009 to figure this out, and I finally did. I'm so excited, because basically space is empty, right? So there's no way to have like buildings in the way or whatever, and a lot of the benefits that come from like holding the high ground if you're playing original Age of Empires and that sort of stuff, they tend to be pretty invisible. That's one of my gripes with like Total War, which I enjoy the game, but I have trouble with like the invisible modifiers. Here there's no invisible modifiers, it's all really visible. You've got all these shots that are around, and you don't want to get hit by those, and you at the same time want to get into a good firing position against your enemy. And at the same time, you've got some other sort of objectives. It's not just slaughter everybody. As you can see, I was thoroughly outclassed in that, and so I just would have absolutely gotten murdered if I had tried to take on the entire army. And so, I fought them some. They kind of came forward towards me away from my actual objective, and then as soon as they did that, then I cranked up the engine power, went real fast, skirted around them, and made it to the objective. But they were kind of sitting on the objective at first, so I would have probably died if I'd just run for the objective. So now I'm back at the solar map, having completed that particular mission and gotten the rewards for that. And now the Andors are not yet spacefaring, so I've decided to be a benevolent Hydral and bring them spacefaring tech. Now I should note, this is being played on hard difficulty, not normal. I actually normally play on normal, but this is a save game from a player called named Misery, and he's extremely good, and this came along with the bug report, and so I've just been kind of playing around with it some because it's entertaining. So this spacefaring, deliver the technical document stuff. Any one of those spy probes that I come into range of or attack, they are going to start letting off a bunch of ships and attacking me, and I lose some points with their the race that controls them and so forth. All of the all of the races that are already spacefaring have these spy probes here kind of blocking us from trying to give more spacefaring tech to another race. You know, they don't want more competitors, and so the more spacefaring races there are, the harder these missions actually get. Right now there's 2, and so I'm kind of preemptively auto-firing on some of these guys. What I was doing just a minute ago was looking around, looking at the movement trajectories that these guys had. I kind of doodled around for a couple of turns out there to let them just kind of wander for a bit and then see, okay, what can I do? And then I've tried to cut in down here. Now that was a big mistake. I just lost the game because well, for one, I'm playing a hard mode, but for the other, I was just overeager. I didn't read the warning signs there. You know, with a situation where it's looking bad, in a lot of strategy games it's like, oh well, play it anyway. Here it's like withdrawal, you know. You only have, you know, one you die when your ship blows up, so that's it. Fortunately, unless you're playing on Iron Man mode, you can just reload from your last save, and the game does do an autosave right before every mission, so it's not like some grim, you know, permadeath thing, but, you know, unless you want it to be, hey, Iron Man. Yeah, so I've come back in here. Let's play this a little bit smarter. I lost that other one basically because I was stupid. And this time there's a little bit more of a gap up here, but it's still a problem. You know, I auto-fired on those other enemies and that was bad. And I'm looking at these turrets. These turrets are going to shoot me, but my goal is to get past there, and what I was looking at in particular are those taser turrets. Those are the big problem, because those will stun me for about 1 second each whenever they hit me, and so I don't want to get hit by them because then that lets everybody start shooting me. If I can't move, then I can't get in there. And that Mega Lance will take out my shields, all of my shields with one hit, and that's not good. There's another taser turret over there that's kind of in range of the drop zone. So what I'm doing is I'm in target ships mode. I'm lighting up the specific ships that I want to target, and then I will confirm my move order and I will fire only on those ships. If they're out of range, it won't fire on them, but as they come into range, it will start firing on them, and it divides the shots between them as it goes. There's some automatic shots that come out of this particular type of flagship. That's what those ones that are the lasers that are coming out in a ring are. And I can't control those. That's just part of this particular flagship, of which there are 8. This is a more advanced one. Okay, so I took out those taser turrets. They did not get me, but you'll notice my shields are all the way gone because the Mega Lance did get me. And so I'm just kind of looking here, and boom, I managed to make it. I lost 75% of my health, all my shields, but I made it there, jettisoned the pods. You'll notice I engaged almost none of the enemies in that particular battle. And now the Andors are spacefaring. They love me a lot more. I got 10,000 credit, which I can use to purchase stuff, convince people to do things. You know, that's good for political deals, for financial transactions, basically, and a variety of other stuff. So I'm heading over to the black market here. This is the first time that I've been there in this particular game, so it gives you a little spiel about, hey, this is the black market, here's what you can do. So here are some various things I could do with it. I could buy myself some more guns, I could buy myself some more special abilities of various sorts, I could kind of roll the dice and get 2 special abilities, or I could buy one you know, of an unknown category, or I could get something a little more specific. In this particular case, I'm hiring some scientist goons, and then I will later use those to help me research some technology. And that's it for this time. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks.